Hey guys, so I created this flow for the Virgo new moon, which is on Sunday. And new moons are always about discovering what you want to cultivate over the next 28 days in the lunar cycle. So it's kind of like the beginning of a month or New Year's resolutions. Every month you get a new moon and a new chance to start building the building blocks or the foundations of what you want to cultivate and bring forward that lunar cycle. And they can be recurring intentions, or they can be new ones every month. It's really what you need to focus on. So with the Virgo new moon, it's all about bringing, I guess, order and planning to your biggest dreams. So we just had Leo, which was all about expansive and dreaming your wildest dreams, and Virgo's all about, okay, let's get this in order and get this, what kind of planning and logistics and that kind of thing do we need to do. So it's all about grounding, and it's an earth sign, so it's all about grounding and rooting down into what you need to cultivate and what you need to heal, like what parts of yourself do you need to heal in order to bring your wildest dreams to fruition. And Virgo rules over our digestive system, our intestines, our spleen, all of that. So during this flow, we do a lot of twisting and building fire in that area. And Virgo is the sign of the goddess, so it's all about tapping into your feminine power and your feminine energy, and that goes for both males and females. It's not only in women that have the feminine energy. We have both, so now is the time to tap into that and really bring that nurturing power. It's not just lay down flat kind of energy. It really is a power to be able to bring that to other people, and it's also about embracing gratitude, because that's where true abundance comes from, is from gratitude. So about what do we need to do to be able to nourish ourselves and nourish the environment that we're in order to fuel ourselves and bring our big plans and dreams to life. So what do we need to prepare and manifest? And this is the season to be able to do all of those things. And my favorite quote from Spirit Daughter, which is where I get a lot of my astrology information from, is, for this season specifically, is learn to accept that everything unfolds at the right time in the right way. And sometimes that doesn't match our expectations. Trust that life is flowing in the best way possible, even if it appears to not be working in your favor. So just keeping that in mind. It's a 45-minute flow with the extension of a longer Shavasana, so it could be about an hour long if you'd like, and I hope you enjoy. So we're just going to start by taking 4 to 5 deep breaths down into the belly. Feeling your sits bones beneath you, connecting down to the earth. And just connecting into that grounding inner knowing. Allowing the inhale and the exhale to be the same length, nice and controlled. Seeing with every exhale you can drop the shoulders, unclench the jaw. And so throughout this practice, since this is a moon practice, we're going to try to keep our focus, our gaze, at one point the whole time. So instead of getting into Warrior One and fidgeting the eyes and fidgeting the hands and moving around and distracting ourselves, once you settle into the pose, I just want you to focus your eyes on one point ahead of you, or maybe at the tip of your nose, your drishti, your focus point, and hold it there. And just see how the mind wants to wiggle the eyes around and keep you distracted. So in every pose, just try to really focus on grounding down through the feet or whatever's connected to the floor, stabilizing yourself through your legs, through your trunk, through all of your bandhas, and then finding your drishti and your focus and staying there, following the breath, and keeping that soft intention, that soft focus. Because once we can quiet the mind down and quiet those distractions that we constantly want to entertain ourselves, then that's when the real healing, and that's when intuition really comes forward and we can listen and trust. So we'll start in easy position here. So Sukhasana, easy pose. You'll have your right thigh or your right shin out in front of you with your left underneath. Bring your hands back behind. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, we're just going to walk our hands out in front of us. You can drop the head all the way down if you like, or stay up on your hands. But just allow whatever tension comes up in the body, maybe through the outer glutes, maybe through the lower back, just taking stock. And through this practice today, really becoming aware of your perfectionism and your inner critic. So that's the low side of Virgo here, is needing to be, everything to be perfect and criticizing ourselves. So just flow today. Don't worry so much about perfect, quote unquote, perfect alignment. Just trust that your body's doing what it needs to do, and with every exhale, allowing yourself to release any bit of perfectionism in the pose. Inhale, we'll come back up to center. We'll bring our left hand to the outside of our right knee, right hand back behind us. Inhale, extend. Exhale, twist from the core ever so gently. So no intense twisting today, or right now at least. Just to take stock and take note of where we're at. Inhale, extend. Exhale, twist. Inhale, extend. Exhale, come back to center. Bring your right hand out beside you. Inhale, extend the left hand up towards the sky, and then bring yourself over to the right, grounding down through the left hip. So really rooting your left hip down onto the mat while you extend your hand up and over your head, twisting your chest, rotating your chest up towards the sky. So you're really getting a nice opening through the chest. And then maybe with every exhale, as you ground down through your left hip, you're able to open up the side body just a little more. Take a deep inhale in, long exhale out, and come back to center. Great. So we'll do this other side. Swap your legs so your left shin's in front of the right here. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, come forward. Connecting down to that equal inhale and equal exhale. So maybe a count of 3 and 3, or a count of 4 and 4. Becoming aware if one side is tighter than the other. And inhale, back up. We're going to move quite slow today through everything, even our sun salutes, pausing with every movement. So just noticing if the body wants to move quicker than we are and that we want to distract ourselves, and just grounding into that space of pausing and reflecting. Right hand outside to the left knee, left hand back behind, just behind the sacrum here. Inhale, extend the crown of head. Exhale, twist from the core. Maybe the gaze goes over the left shoulder. Gentle twist here though, no need to go crazy. And exhale, back to center. Bring your left hand to the outside of your mat here. Inhale, lift the right hand. Exhale, extend over to the left. Again, rotating the chest. And rooting down, you want to push your right hip down into the mat. So you're getting a nice stretch through your side body. And inhale, back to center. We're gonna come over to our hero's pose here. So you're sitting on the back of your heels, or you can have a block in between your legs here to lift the hips up, or sit in easy pose if it's too difficult to sit on the back of your heels. Just place your palms down onto your thighs, shoulders down and back. Again, nice inhale in, maybe count of 3 and 4. And a long exhale out. I want you to press your shins and the tops of your feet into the mat, rooting down into the earth, while at the same time extending the crown of the head like you have strings pulling each side of the body in different directions. Nice and tall. And today, for this practice, we're going to work with the mantra for the goddess Durga. Virgo, the moon, is the sign of the goddess. So we're going to be working with the divine mother of goddesses here, really. And so the mantra is Om Doom Durgaye Namaha. Om Doom Durgaye Namaha. And the mudra, the hand position, that we'll use is taking your 2 peace fingers, put your thumb in between, and then fold your fingers in. So that's the mudra, which is basically an energy lock, keeping energy within the system in a specific way. And we'll place the hands down onto the knees, and we'll just practice the mantra a few times together, and then we'll practice the mantra throughout the asana practice as well, kind of integrated together. So together, take an inhale in, exhale out. We'll do it 5 times. Closing the eyes and just, as you say it, really feeling the power of the mantra. So Om Doom Durgaye Namaha, loosely in Sanskrit, means I bow to the feminine power, the feminine transformation, the feminine goddess, which will protect against negative energies, negative influences. So Durga is basically the goddess of removing obstacles, removing suffering. But a lot of those obstacles are things that we actually love a lot. So it sometimes can feel like that she's taking away things you love, but really she's removing things that are obstacles to your own remembrance, your own enlightening. And that's what Virgo is all about. So inhale, exhale. Om Doom Durgaye Namaha. Om Doom Durgaye Namaha. Om Doom Durgaye Namaha. Om Doom Durgaye Namaha. One more. Om Doom Durgaye Namaha. Inhale. Exhale. Taking that power that surrounds you when saying that mantra, and then taking the focus of keeping your eyes on one point through each pose. We're going to create a place of stability within ourselves and within our surroundings so that we can go deep and we can listen to our intuition and flow from life from there. All right. We're going to rock forward onto our hands. We're just going to step up into a forward fold here. So just bend the knees as much as you need to so that your stomach lays flat on your thighs. Drop the head completely so you're not holding on to any tension through the neck. And just maybe straightening the legs over time if you have a bit more range in your hamstrings. But grabbing onto opposite elbows. Just allowing the weight of your upper body to slowly and gently open up the hamstrings. Tilting the tailbone up towards the sky as you root down through all 4 corners of the feet. And then exhale, drop the hands. We're going to ground down through our feet, bend the knees, and slowly, slowly come up 1 vertebra at a time. Pushing the hips forward as you come up, and the head's the last inhale. Reach the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, hands down. So we're going to go through 2 rounds of sun salutes. Very slow though. So instead of like running through our sun salute in such a habitual way, Like arms up, arms down, forward fold, halfway lift, plant the hands. We're really going to take our time to feel through this sun salute. And I think an important part of this is as we inhale, rising the arms up. We're going to pause here with our hands facing towards each other. So you can't really see with the camera, but with the hands facing towards each other. And I want you to imagine like you're holding the moon between your hands, and that energy, the Virgo energy that we're cultivating and trying to incorporate into our lives, that healing, stability, grounding, intuition, flow. I want you to feel like you're gathering that as we pause at the top. And then as we exhale, we bring the hands together through to heart center, like you're gathering it down towards your chest. Okay? So we're standing here. Inhale, sweeping the arms up towards the sky. Pause, gather the energy through to your hands. And exhale, bring the hands through to heart center, bend the knees, come forward into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hold, gaze stays down to protect the neck. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank, hold. Again, keeping your focus on one point and try not to move your gaze around. Dropping the knees, inhale. Exhale, come forward 10 centimeters, squeeze the elbows in close to each other, drop yourself all the way down towards the mat. Inhale, press the tops of the feet into the floor, squeeze the elbows together, lift, baby cobra. Exhale, drop the forehead down, slowly come up through your knees and push back to downward facing dog. Holding downward dog for 5 complete whole breaths. Maybe the gaze goes up towards your belly button, completely dropping the neck, pressing down through the fingertips. Keeping your gaze nice and steady, so avoid looking around. We're cultivating that one-pointed awareness. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come up to your tippy toes. Bend through your knees, look forward, and step the feet up one at a time. Hang heavy in a forward fold, pause. Inhale, halfway lift, hold. Exhale, forward fold. Press down through the feet. Inhale, rise the arms up. Keeping the hands facing each other, pause here. Feel the energy through the hands as if you're holding the Virgo moon. And exhale, bring the hands down through heart center. You can close the eyes here. Thumbs gently touch against the sternum. So whatever part you want to focus on, maybe it's healing, maybe it's grounding, maybe it's tapping into your intuition. As you raise your arms up overhead and then bring it down, feel as though you're bringing that part down into your heart. One more sun salute. Inhale, sweep the arms down, round it up. Hold at the top. Exhale, palms to touch, forward fold. Hold at the bottom. Inhale, halfway lift, hold. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into plank. Now you can either drop your knees down towards the earth or we'll come down through chaturanga through plank. So inhale here. Exhale, rock forward 10 centimeters. Squeeze the elbows in towards each other and lower down all the way through the earth, or hold chaturanga. And exhale, or inhale, up dog. Baby cobra if you came down through your knees. Keeping the gaze steady. Exhale, we meet back in downward facing dog. 5 breaths, find one point to focus on. Once you adjust your feet and your hands so that you're in a comfortable down dog, avoid trying to move around. Avoid the little bouncing up and down, the stretching. fidgeting of the toes maybe, noticing if you need to get a pedicure. Just find one point. Cultivate that one pointed awareness that will help you when you finish asana to move into meditation easier, which is the point of asana. On your next inhale, rise up on the toes, bend the knees, look forward, step up into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hold. Exhale, forward fold, hold. Inhale, press down through the feet, root to rise. Bring the arms all the way up overhead, palms facing each other. And exhale, gather that intention or the Virgo energy down through to the heart. Closing the eyes. Feel maybe the heart growing lighter, stronger, warmer. Beautiful. We're going to bring the left leg back behind us. So we're going into warrior one here. Move up so you can see a bit. So you want your left toes to be in a 45-degree angle, almost like they're kind of pointing towards the top edge of the left part of the mat and bending into the right knee. So you want to square your hips as much as possible, but don't twinge into the knee to make that happen. Everyone's anatomy is different, so it doesn't always go that way. The main point is that you keep your knee over your ankle as much as possible and you ground into the knife edge of the back foot. Inhale, rising the arms, find your focus. Staying here for a couple breaths. When you're ready, exhale, press the air away. I'm next to a glass, so I can't actually press away with my left hand. Interlace the hands behind you. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Open the chest up towards the sky. And exhale, going into humble warrior. So we're bringing our right shoulder to the inside of our right knee. And dropping the head. And the more that you can squeeze your shoulder blades together, the more you can bring the hands over the head. You want your palms to be touching together. You don't want them flopped out. So squeeze your palms together first. Or really, squeeze your shoulder blades together first, then the palms. And then if you can get both to happen, then you bring it over the head. Try to bring your hips in line. And then inhale, using the hands to pull you back up. Bring the arms up overhead. And exhale. We're going to open out to goddess. So you're going to open out so you're facing the left side of the mat. I'm just going to turn around so you can see what we're going to do. Going into goddess pose here. Virgo is the sign of the goddess. So toes are pointing out, heels are pointing in. You're going to bend down into your knees. So you're in like a squat here. Knees should be pointing over your first big toes. We're going to bring the hands onto the thighs here and lean our body forward. So leaning your body forward and having the hands, arms straight here. So we'll inhale, straighten the chest. Exhale, bend into the left elbow, drop the right shoulder down, maybe bringing the gaze over the left shoulder. Inhale, back up, straighten. Exhale, bend into the right elbow. Push your left hand into your left thigh, maybe the gaze goes over the right shoulder. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale, back up. Straighten your body so you're over your hips as much as possible. And we're going to go into our Durga mantra here. So go into your mudra, thumb in between your two peace fingers with your fingers pointing over, and palms down onto your thighs. Just 3 times together. Inhale. Exhale. Om Doom Durgaye Namaha. Om Doom Durgaye Namaha. Om Doom Durgaye Namaha. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise the arms up, straighten the legs. Exhale, point the toes over. I have to switch because I was facing you guys. So your right leg is straight in front of you, your left leg is straight behind you. Arms up overhead. And exhale, fold over your right leg here. So a nice stretch through the back of the right leg. Forehead to knee as much as possible. Beautiful. When you're ready, we're just going to step up to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, hold. Exhale. Forward fold. Press down through the feet, root to rise. Gather the energy through the hands, pause. And exhale, bring the hands down through to heart center. Taking 3 deep breaths here, pressing down through the feet into the floor, extending the crown of the head up towards the sky. And we'll do the second side. So bring the right leg back behind us now. And the right toes are pointing towards the right top of the mat, right corner of the top of the mat, and bending into your left knee. We're trying to square the hips to the front of the room as much as possible, ground down through the knife edge of the back foot, and then inhale, rising the arms up overhead. Finding your drishti, your focus point. 3 breaths here. Last inhale. Exhale, press the air away with your hands. Interlace with the opposite holding this time. So whatever's the non-habitual side for you. Squeeze the palms together, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, rise the chest. Exhale, humble warrior. Bring the left shoulder inside of the right knee. Sorry, the left knee, that would be a tricky one. Left shoulder inside the left knee. Squeezing the shoulder blades together and the palms, maybe bringing the hands up overhead. Bowing down to the creative force within us. Last inhale. Long exhale. Inhale, use your hands to rise up. Bring the palms with you up overhead. And exhale, we'll open out to goddess. So again, doing the same thing. Toes pointing out, heels pointing in, hands come down to your thighs, reach your body forward so your spine is nice and long. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, bend through the right arm this time, straighten out through the left arm, maybe looking over the right shoulder. Inhale, straighten the spine center. Exhale, bend through the left elbow, push the right hand into the right thigh for some leverage. Gaze goes over the left shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Bring your body over your hips. And we're going to do our mantra again. So grab onto your mudra, thumb between your peace fingers, fingers wrapped down. Inhale. Exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Om Doom Durgaye Namaha. Om Doom Durgaye Namaha. Last one. Om Doom Durgaye Namaha. Inhale, lift the legs, arms overhead. Point both toes towards the front with straight legs. And then exhale, fold over the left leg. Bring the forehead to the knee as much as possible. And then we'll step forward to the top of the mat. Beautiful. So we're going to bring the toes to touch, heels slightly apart, bend into the knees. We're going to bring our fingertips towards the earth and walk the fingertips back towards your heels. Once you feel that you're sitting deep enough as if you can sit back into a chair, we're going to keep the knees at the depth they are and just raise the chest up. Try to see if we can tuck the tailbone while lifting up through the chest, bringing the biceps as close to the ears as possible. Stay here for an inhale. Exhale, bring the hands through to heart center. Lean your chest forward so your tailbone is reaching back, crown of head is reaching forward like you have strings, pulling both ends in opposite directions. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring the left elbow to the outside of the right knee and twist the body. Using the left elbow against the right knee as kind of a lever to twist the body. Looking down towards your knees to make sure they're both in line so the hips are square. On your next exhale, we're going to bring the left foot back behind us in crescent lunge. If this is too much, drop the back knee down. So either stay here in half crescent lunge twist or pick the back knee up off. And we're not trying to look up towards the sky, we're literally looking back over our right shoulder. One more inhale. Exhale, drop the hands. We're going to bring both hands to the inside of our right foot. And our right foot is going to wiggle out to the outside of the mat. So nice and wide. Drop the back knee down. And we're going to stay here in lizard up on our palm. So a lot of times people drop all the way down towards the earth, maybe dropping the head down. I really just want you to feel the connection of your hands against the mat or maybe against the bare earth. And noticing if your pattern is to immediately go down to your farthest edge possible and always pushing yourself. And what is your mind telling you right now about being in the quote unquote easier version of the pose? Maybe you can feel the pose in a different way because you're staying in a variation that you normally fly past. Again, finding a drishti and finding a focus point. And trying not to fidget. We're here for 3 more breaths. Noticing if you have any perfectionism or inner critics coming through before we move on to the next side. We're going to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee up, and press back into downward facing dog. Holding for 5 breaths. Find your drishti. Rooting down through all 4 corners of the feet and all 4 corners of the hands. Beautiful. Inhale, lift up onto the tippy toes, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, step forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, forward, exhale, forward, fold. And when you're ready, we're going to root to rise, press down through the feet, arms up overhead, gather the energy through the hands, pause. And exhale, bring the hands down through to heart center. Beautiful. Bend down through the knees, bring the fingertips onto the mat, second side, walking the fingertips all the way back towards the heels, and once you feel you're sitting deep enough into chair, inhale, lifting the chest up. Tucking the tailbone as much as we can while keeping a mini back bend through our upper back. Holding here for 1 more breath, inhale. Exhale, hands through to heart center, lean forward as if you have string at the bottom of your base here, and the crown of your head pulling you in different directions. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist over to the left. Right elbow hooks over the left knee. Look down at your knees. See if you need to adjust your knees so they're both in line together. Maybe looking over your left shoulder. On your next exhale, we're going to bring our right foot back behind us so we're in a crescent lunge, or drop down the knee onto the mat. So whichever variation you need to go into. With every inhale, lengthen, and with every exhale, twist. On your next exhale, drop the hands to the inside of your left foot, pigeon toe the left foot to the outside of the mat, nice and wide, and then drop the back knee down. Untuck the toes. Keep the fingers nice and wide here, pressing down through the knuckles, gripping with the fingertips, and then keeping your gaze pointing down or just slightly in front of you, and hold. ready, untuck your back toe, or tuck your back toes, lift the back knee up. We're stepping back into plank. Hold here on an inhale, and then exhale, either come down onto your knees and through chaturanga or come through plank. We're lowering all the way down to the earth. Going into Shalabhasana here. So bring your forehead down towards the mat, bring the palms facing down onto the mat so the chest is nice and open. Heels are squeezing together, ankles are squeezing together. Really press your pelvic bone, your hip bones, into the mat here so your tailbone is nice and long. And you want to feel like there's a string pulling your big toes towards the back of the room. And then when you're ready on an inhale, just lift your feet slightly, and then lift the chest and the hands and the head slightly. And it's not so much about how high you can get it all, it's about the length of it. So the crown of your head really reaching towards the front of the room while the toes are reaching back, so it's nice and lengthened. One more inhale, grow tall. Exhale, stay. Just kidding. One more inhale, grow long. Exhale, fold down. Bring the hands in close to the chest, press back into a closed knees child's pose, so both knees to touch, forehead down towards the mat. Palms are facing up, back behind the heels. Beautiful. We'll come up and rock forward onto the hands. You're going to bring your left knee to the center line of your body, and then bring your right knee on top or over your left. So you're going into cow here. You'll bring the toes to the outside of the mat. I'll go this way so you can see a little bit better. So the right knee is on top of the left, and then sitting back. So you'll be doing opposite to what I'm doing. So if you want to make it harder for yourself, bring your toes wider out. If you want to make it a little bit easier, bring the knees in. If you need to adjust because it feels a bit weird with your skin or your hips or whatever, rock forward and then adjust and sit back. So you want to have both hips rooting down, both sit bones rooting down onto the mat. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, folding forward. You can go to any variation here. You can stay completely up if it feels really tricky on your hamstrings and on your hips here. Or, some people, you're super open, you can bring yourself all the way down. I encourage you, it's super easy to close your eyes in these types of poses, but I really encourage you to just keep your eyes open and picking one point and staying focused on that. It's much easier to tell when your mind wanders when you're meant to be focusing on something rather than when your eyes are closed. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, release the legs. We're going to go into Janusirsasana. So bring the left sole of the foot to the inside of the right groin, flexing the right foot as much as possible. So grounding down your heel into the mat and flexing the toes back towards your face. Inhale, rise the arms, twist the chest over the right leg. And then exhale, we're going to come forward. And instead of coming forward with our forehead trying to reach our toes so our neck is elongated and it's like we're really reaching and grabbing, and in the future here, I want you to keep your eyes down and reach with your chest. So keep your chin tucked and reach your chest forward. As opposed to this, I want to see this. And then dropping the hands, maybe touching the foot, maybe on the calf, maybe on the mat. Either way, dropping the shoulders down and back, gaze stays down to protect the neck, and elongating the chest forward rather than leading with the head. So kind of a great metaphor for leading with your heart rather than leading with your head. One more inhale. Stay for the exhale. And inhale, back up to center. We'll do the second side here now. So bring your right leg in, and we're gonna rock forward. We'll rock forward here, and bring the left knee over the right, and then sit back in for cow, Gomukhasana. Bringing the feet as far wide as you want. Easier will be bringing them in closer to your inhale, lift, exhale, come forward. So Virgo rules over our digestion, our intestines, our spleen, all of that. So we've done a lot of twists today, a lot of forward folds. We'll kind of give a lot of massage to the insides. Just keeping that in mind as we move in through the next few poses. And inhale, come up. And then extend your left leg straight out in front of you, flexing the toes. Right sole of the foot goes into the inner left thigh. Inhale, extend. Exhale, keep your chin to your chest, gaze pointing down. Reach forward from your heart space. And then drop the hands to wherever you can. Maybe you're staying up, because that's the only way you can keep the heart open. That's fine. If you can go a little bit lower while keeping the heart open, great. But if you find yourself reaching for your toes, but you have to close off the heart to make that happen, then we've lost the integrity of the pose. Dropping the shoulders down and back. Keeping the foot flexed so the left leg is nice and active. One more inhale. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands down. So we're gonna go into our last movement here. And this is really a fire building asana plus pranayama. And it's really great for digestion. So that's why I've included it specific to Virgo. So I'm going to face my head towards the camera because there's not a lot of space here in our tiny hotel in Thailand. But basically, you want to lay down onto your back and keep your feet up towards the sky. And then you're going to bring your palms out towards the side. So they're kind of in a T shape, but palms facing down. And very slowly, on an exhale, we're going to bring both feet over to the right, hold, and then inhale, back up to center. Exhale over to the left, hold, inhale, back up to center. So just do it on your own. Exhale on the way down. Inhale on the way up. Exhale on the way down. Inhale. So just a few more on your own cadence of your own breath. Nice and slow. You're just building that fire within the digestion system here, digestive system. One more round. So it's not so much thinking about that it's core work, it's what is it doing from the inside out. And inhale back to center. Bring the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a big hug, rocking side to side. And then nice and slow, one leg at a time, extending. Keeping your arms out wide. And palms facing up, so your chest and heart are nice and open. And then dropping into your Shavasana, so closing your eyes, allowing the eyes to sink back into the sockets. Oftentimes when we do this, it allows the heart to kind of open and expand. And just before completely dropping in, just thinking of 3 intentions that you want to cultivate over the next lunar cycle. So dropping into the Virgo energy of, I guess, healing, grounding, feminine power, intuition. What are your 3 I am statements that you want to cultivate over the next 28 to 29 days? It can be simple things like, I am open to the timing of my life. I am in flow with the universe. I am open to receive. Whatever you need to cultivate. I invite you to pause the end of this video and stay in Shavasana for as long as you can. But if you need to go, we're going to gather our knees into the chest, rocking side to side slightly, and then rocking up and down our spine. We're going to make our way up into a seated position. Staying in easy pose or whatever is best for you. Bringing our thumb in between our fingers, going back into Durga Mudra, thumb into our peace fingers, hands facing down onto our thighs. We're doing Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. We'll do it 10 times together and say it silently in your head. So I'll say it out loud for the first 2 and then say it silently in your head, really cultivating that goddess power within. Okay. Closing the eyes, inhale. Exhale. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Now you can say silently in your head, Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Last one, release the mudra, release your hands. Inhale, gather your arms up over your head. Last one, pause with the hands facing towards each other. All that you've wanted to cultivate, holding right beneath, in between your hands, is right there. And then exhale, hands down through to heart center, closing the eyes. Think of one thing you're grateful for, tapping into the feeling of gratitude. Take a deep in breath in. Exhale out. Namaste.